Good afternoon, welcome to the show. I'm Leigh Perry, with you for the next 2 hours here on Solihull Radio.
You can never know what it's like. Your blood like winter freezes just like ice. And there's a cold and lonely light that shines from you. You'll wind up like the wreck you hide behind that mask you use. And did you think this fool could never win? Well, look at me, I'm coming back again. I got a taste of love in a simple way. And if you need to know while I'm still standing, you just fade away. Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did? Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. And I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Once I never could have hoped to win. You're starting down the road and leaving me again. The threats you made were meant to cut me down. And if my love was just a circus, you'd be a clown by now. No, I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Know that I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I'm still standing.
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
Don't start the talking. I could talk all night. My mind goes sleepwalking while I'm putting the world to right. Calgary's information. Have you got yourself an occupation? Oliver's obvious you to stay. Oliver's army are on their way, and I would rather be anywhere else but here today. There was a check on Charlie. He didn't crack a smile, but it's no laughing party when you've been on the murder mile. Only takes one itchy trigger, one more widow, one less white nigger. Oliver's army is here to stay. Oliver's army are on their way, and I would rather be anywhere else but here today. Hong Kong is up for grabs. London
Elvis Costello there and Oliver's Army. Welcome, welcome. You are listening to the Arts and Entertainment Show with me, Leigh Perry, live from Studio 148 at Touchwood. You are listening to Solihull Radio. We're online and on demand. Got a fantastic show lined up for you. I'm here for the next couple of hours. I've got a very special guest. She's driven over from Malvern. I'm going to be speaking to the wonderful Susie Romero Pitt in just a few minutes, all about tarot reading and palmistry. We've already got about 6 pairs of hands, photographs that have come in for people that would like a reading. If you would like a reading, I will tell you how to get in touch in just a few minutes. Bit more music though to ease us into today's show, and this is the fabulous Dolly Parton, 9 to 5.
Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn and stretch and try to come to life. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the streets the traffic starts jumping with folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. Barely getting by, it's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind. You're just a step on the boss man's ladder, but you got dreams he'll never take away. In the same boat with a lot of your friends, waiting for the day your ship will come in and the tide's gonna turn and it's all gonna roll your way. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. Barely getting by, it's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind.
You are listening to Solihull Radio, and we were live from Touchwood for the next couple of hours. Got a great show lined up, as I say, with some fantastic music. Coming up in the next hour or so, I've got some Clean Bandit, some Adam and some ABBA. If you've got any music requests today, or you'd like to get in touch with us here at the studio for a palm reading, which is really exciting to find out how this all works, then you can get in touch with us. You can email studio@solihullradio.com. You can text the studio, text starting your message with the word studio to 82228. That's 82228. Or you can call us here on 0121 70 44 253. And with me this afternoon, she's come all the way from Malvern, is Susie Romero Pitt. Hiya, Susie.
Hi, it's really nice to be here.
Thank you for coming. So you had a good journey?
Yeah, it was fine, thanks.
Brilliant,
yeah.
Brilliant. We've got the aircon working today, so that's good news, isn't it? So tell me a bit about you and how this all came about. We've met through a mutual friend.
That's right. Yeah.
As our listeners know, we do a psychic show once a month with the wonderful Elizabeth, or Beth, Psychic Beth as we know her, and she said you're amazing. So tell me how it all started.
That's very kind of her. Well, I started reading tarot cards about 15 years ago, and I was just mesmerised by them. But I have two girls, and during the time they were growing up, I couldn't really devote much time to, to studying them. And then 3 years ago, my girls were older at that point, in their 20s, and I picked up my tarot cards and also started to learn palmistry.
Okay.
And what I found is that my palmistry has sort of overtaken the tarot, really.
Okay.
There seem to be lots of tarot readers in the area, but not many palmists.
Yes, that's true,
Yeah.
actually. You're the first palmist
Yeah.
I've met, I must say. So the tarot reading came first. And how did you go about that? How did you train in that field? Because I know I've now got, because of doing Psychic Sunday, quite a lot of friends in the field. And
Yes.
some will say that it's been passed on, their grandmothers were psychics and whatever. Is that the case with you, Susie?
No, it was really strange. I was on holiday in Cornwall, and a lady gave me a set of rune stones that she'd made herself, just gave them to me. And I came back and tried to find somebody to teach them to me, and I couldn't find anyone. And I had the tarot cards at home. I just had them in a drawer. And I found a tarot teacher in Pershore.
Oh,
Her
yeah.
name was Angela, and she was a really magical lady. She was a homeopath and a herbalist. And her house was amazing. It was just really magical. And yeah, I studied with her for quite a long time. I did the basic tarot and then the more advanced tarot. And she was a really, really good teacher.
Wow,
She's
okay.
probably still there.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to meet her as well. I mean, Arushi here, who's going to come on the mic in a bit. She does our What's On, and she's the assistant producer here. She met Beth for the first time last week and was utterly, well, her face, her jaw just dropped to the floor because she couldn't believe what she was seeing and hearing. It's really fascinating. So you were telling me off air before the show started that the two things, the palmistry and the tarot, kind of work together.
That's right. Yeah, the palmistry. In the old days, it used to be very much a fairground thing. Where people would tell your fortune, basically.
Yes.
Which is odd because in the late Middle Ages, it was actually studied at university, palmistry, and it goes back 4,000 years.
Wow.
But it was thrown out along with astrology and alchemy at one point. As not being rational. So we then went through the whole fairground thing, and now that we call ourselves hand analysts. It sounds a bit pompous and don't mean it to be. But what it does is the palm will tell me who somebody is. So it will tell me their personality. It will show me their life purpose. It will show me their life lessons. It will really get to the essence of that person who may be on completely the wrong path for themselves or in the wrong relationship or the wrong job. So once I get the information from the palm as to who that person is, we then do cards, and the cards will tell me what the current issues are, what's actually happening at that moment in time.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So, Susie, I'm going to play a bit more music, and then we've got quite a few lined up for you.
Okay.
The first one is going to be for Jeff O'Brien, who popped in the studio about half an hour ago, and we have a photograph of his right and left hand. He's right-handed.
Yeah.
Arushi's got the photograph, so if you want to have a little look,
Yeah,
and then
thank
come back
you.
to you in a bit.
Okay.
So we are going to have a little bit of Blondie. This is going back a little while. This is The Tide is High.
Tide
You're listening to Solihull Radio, and we're live for the next couple of hours. And with me in the studio is Susie. Susie is a tarot reader and a palmist. Fascinating stuff, Susie. We're going to go straight to our first reading. So you've got two photographs of the palms of the right and left hand of Jeff O'Brien.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can see straight away from Jeff, the way he's holding his hands, that he's quite extrovert, really open, extrovert personality. Also, I can see that he's quite sensitive by looking at the lines on his hands. And he's a water hand. He has water hands, and as opposed to earth, air or fire. Water mean that he is a very, very sensitive person. Water people tend to work as priests, carers, nurses, with the public. Also, I can see that he's a very well-rooted soul, so I can see that. And looking at his other hand, he really sort of gets on things when it comes to business. He's got a very good business hand. He deals with what's on the table in front of him, I would say. And he's highly imaginative, but also his thinking is also very clear. So, very sensitive, very open personality, very generous. But really focused when it comes to work, I would say.
Okay, fantastic. So how does it work? Tell us a little bit about what you're looking for when you look at somebody's palm.
Yeah, sure. I'm looking at the way they hold their palms when they hold their palms up to me.
Okay.
The way we hold our palms says a lot about the personality. So, as with children, when they show you their hands, they have very open fingers.
Yes.
Okay, so they're very open. Mm-hmm. And people who are quite shy, for example, will hold their fingers very close together and their thumbs very close together. So they're quite private and maybe quite shy.
Right.
So that's one thing. And then the lines also, the lines are like rivers of consciousness, okay? And what I mean by that is the brain and the nerve endings together form lines on the hand, okay? Now, people would say maybe, it's just to do with kind of creasing your hands. But a manual worker will have very few lines because they're quite straightforward people, whereas somebody who may be quite nervous and anxious and works in an office maybe will have lots and lots of lines. Okay, so the lines are the paths we walk, okay? And it tells me how we think about things and how we react emotionally to things, how we will be romantically. Yeah. So,
okay, and how does the right hand differ to the left? So in some cases you've got a picture of both hands, and you've asked specifically for the fingertips, and also is somebody right-handed or are they left-handed?
Yeah, so the left hand shows me the true person, their subconscious. It's like their subconscious hand, really. And also it shows me their childhood. And the right hand shows me how they've responded to their childhood and how they have responded to what's happened and how they are facing the world. Because it's not about what's happened, it's about how we perceive what's happened and our view on what happened to us. And that's what I'm looking for on both hands.
Interesting. Okay, after another track, you've got a photograph of my hand.
Yeah.
I've been a bit worried because I've Googled it. I've looked up a map which shows you a little bit about how the different lines work, and the one that's supposed to go to your middle finger, I don't have one at all. I don't quite know what that means, but anyway. Right, coming up in a second, we have some Billy Joel.
Solihull Radio.
Sharp as a knife,
That's one very talented man, Billy Joel, of course, and I Go to Extreme. So you listen to Solihull Radio. We're with you until 6. And if you'd like to get in touch with us today, then please do email us at studio@solihullradio.com. With me is Susie, palmist, and tarot reader, and of course Arushi. Hi, Arushi.
Hi, Leigh.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. It's nice and cool in here today.
It is today, yeah.
I'm having my my palm read now. You can have yours done later. I'm just a bit worried. I've been saying off air that I thought I didn't have a line in the middle of my hand on my right hand, but Susie's going to explain all. Susie.
Okay, yes, hi there. Okay, so Leigh, I can see by the way you hold your hands that you're also an open person and friendly. Also, what's interesting is that you, the way you hold your first finger shows me that you've got leadership qualities. You're quite assertive, quite an assertive person, very sort of focused and driven. And the way you hold your little finger shows me that in relationships you need a lot of space for yourself.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
That's very true.
Yeah, okay. Also, I would say that you've got really good lifeline. Okay, the lifeline.
Good news. It's getting better.
Yeah. The lifeline doesn't tend to refer to how long we're going to live. It refers to our physical strength and vitality and energy. Okay, so you've got water hands. So again, I can see you're really sensitive. Okay,
yeah, that's true.
And your skin also is quite fine. So you've got a high level of sensitivity. Would that be fair to say?
Definitely.
Yeah. So again, water people come from feelings, whereas say fire people come from action. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in every situation, you'll probably be emotions led, and work wise, you'd probably maybe best to work with people and feeling and emotion and that kind of thing. You've got, you said you're talking about your fire line, what they used to call your fate line when you say you can't see it. I can see it.
Can you?
Yeah, and actually it's really strong. It goes all the way from the bottom to the top of your hand. And it just shows me that you've got a really strong sense of who you are, what your goals are and where you're going and what your values are. And it looks like you got that quite early on, actually. It looks like would that be fair to say that quite early you knew where you were going?
I would say so, actually, because very unusually, especially with the youngsters today, I mean, I was probably only about 12 and I knew exactly what I wanted to do in the workplace.
Yes.
Which, is unusual for youngsters now.
Yes, I can see that. And I can also see that you're highly imaginative. You've got a line of thinking that is very curved, which suggests that you're highly, highly imaginative. Is that fair to say?
It is, actually, yeah, bang on.
Yeah. And also emotionally, I think you're really... you're not a gushy person. You're not an over-the-top person. You're quite reserved and quite self-contained, I would say, and quite pragmatic.
On the outside, I'm a wreck on the inside. I think just You're about. I am. Trust me, I am. I mean, actually, just off air, Arushi asked you a very, very interesting question, which was, can you read the future? I mean, obviously we had Beth here last week and she's talking about people's futures by reading the tarot.
Yeah.
And Arushi said, can you read the future from palmistry?
Yes, we can see patterns of the way the lines are going, okay, and we do time that, okay. So we can see events that are coming or that sort of thing. That said, so a lot of the time we see wonderful things. So, for example, we will see that somebody in their younger life is really sort of working really, really hard and finding it really difficult, and then they get to sort of an older age and things start to ease up and things start to get nicer and easier and gentler, and we can see that coming. So that's nice when we can tell them that. If we see something that may be difficult, the thing is to empower the client to say, this may be a little bit of a tricky area, so make sure you eat properly, make sure you're prepared. And if you don't like what's coming, we can change it. So lines can change. Certain things can't change. Fingerprints can't change.
No.
but lines can change. So it's about creating your own adventure. You know, in the old days, there were lots of sort of society and community controls, and people used to think that the power lay with the spirits or with the tarot reader or with the palm reader. Well, it doesn't. It lies with the clients. And so, you know, all we're doing is we're just the messenger, and we're just helping you to navigate your own soul.
That's interesting stuff, isn't it? So, Rishi, you going to have a reading after this? This
sure,
next-
yeah.
We've also got 2 or 3 people waiting for readings. We've got a photograph come through from a lady called Emily, who's a listener from the US. Okay. So I think I've passed that photograph on to you as well, Susie. So, bit of ABBA first of all, and then we'll be back with Susie for another reading.
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
Solihull Radio.
set them, so everyone can take note. When I saw you kneeling, quiet words that you mean. Opening the eyeballs, pretending that you're Al Green. Goody two shoes, goody two shoes. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Subtle innuendos follow. Must be something inside. No one's gonna tell me what's wrong or what's right. Until we live with, sleep with. I'm proud of a big bad. We're proud of them, tell you you're a superstar. 2 weeks and you're an all-time legend. I think the game they got much too far. If the word's so spoken, I can't stop you float. Send the treasure token. Ride it on, pound note. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Subtle innuendos follow. Must be something inside. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Subtle innuendos follow. Must be something inside. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Subtle innuendos follow. Must be something inside. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Subtle innuendos follow. Must be something inside. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Subtle innuendos follow. Must be something inside.
Solihull Radio.
Adamant there and Goody Two Shoes. You are listening to Solihull Radio. We are with you until 6, live from Studio 148 here at Touchwood. My special guest today is tarot reader and palmist Susie, and Arushi's here in the studio as well. If you're joining us live today, it's a massive, massive day, isn't it, for sport? I mean, it's all happening, Arushi, today. I'm trying to find out and keep sort of up to track with what's happening, because we've got the Wimbledon men's final, we've got the British Grand Prix, and of course the cricket, New Zealand and England. It's the final today, so best of luck to Ashley Giles. I haven't got a clue what's happening. Any news, Arushi?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you how these scores work for Wimbledon. I think it's showing that Djokovic is in the lead.
Is he? Okay.
Okay. But I guess we'll stay up to date with that. The women's doubles for Wimbledon is about to start at 5:05 now today. So make sure people are into that.
It's a busy day. It's a
It is
busy day. So if you've joined us here on the show, thank you for joining us. We've got the What's On coming up as well in a short while. But right now we've got another reading. This lady, Susie, is a listener of Solihull Radio, and she lives in America. Okay. She sent an email photograph of her palm. I know, as you say, it's not the best photograph. So if she would like to send us another one after the show, I can forward it to you.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, but what can you make of it from what you've seen?
Hi, Emily. It is a bit difficult from the photograph to see everything I need to see, really. I need to see your fingers, and so maybe after the show, if you sent another picture, I could be in contact with you. But what I can see is that you're very, very kind and very well-rooted soul. Okay, you're quite a private lady. You've got Samaritan lines on your hands, which show me that you're a really good person and a good Samaritan for people. Also, you're a very good worker. You know, you're very concerned about doing the right thing and justice and fairness. And creativity is very important to you as well. I can see that on your hand. And you've got what we call a Mars line, which shows me that for all your sort of softness and kindness, you're actually a really strong lady. Mars is the god of war and the bringer of strength, and so yeah, I can see that on your hand as well. But as I said, if you could take another photograph and just include your fingers, I just need to check your finger lengths really on the photograph, and then I'll contact you afterwards if that's okay.
There you go, Emily. Thank you for contacting us today. I've got some ELO for you in a few minutes' time. Susie, you were saying that you're actually training in mediumship at the moment.
Yes,
How
I am.
exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's really exciting. Yeah.
So is that something that you do kind of part-time? You know, how long does it take to be trained?
Yeah, well, I'm training with a lady in Bromyard called Lorraine Davis. And she's got lots and lots of experience, and she's a trance medium. So she's the sort of medium that channels a spirit of somebody who's passed over, and they blend with her, and she will talk as if she's them, and she will move as if she's them. And so I went along and was quite sceptical, because I am, I've got a lot of common sense with all this. I need things to be proven. And then really out of the blue, I had a really strange experience. All these things always sound strange when you talk about them. It's always really hard to believe. But I had the spirit of, I was sitting with a lady doing some mediumship exercises, and her husband came through. And I was completely taken over by this, and completely out of control, sort of like lurched forward and was speaking as if I was her husband. And it was really, really strange. It was really strange, but it really convinced me, absolutely no question that it's all completely real, because I was really on the skeptical side before.
So how did you feel at that point when you somebody else, you're saying it's coming through kind of in your body?
Yeah, I thought I'd be really frightened.
Gosh, I think I would.
I thought I'd be really frightened, but actually, when it happened, I was very confused. And then just after it happened, I was just filled with joy, and I just laughed. I just was just giggled. I just didn't know what to do. But the lady was really comforted by what happened, surprisingly so, because I was acting really strange. But we did it again 2 weeks afterwards, and this time she asked questions that she needed to ask, and verified that it was her husband. So it's really early days, but it's been incredible, because it's taken all the fear out of it for me. I feel okay.
I think that's the thing, don't you? Arishi, what's your opinion? I mean, I think it would scare the life out of me. I mean, I have to say, as you know, Beth's a good friend now, and she contacted the show because she'd just written her book, Life by Numbers, and asked if she could come in, and of course she did, and it was really, really popular, and so we started doing this monthly show, and I was, like you, very, very sceptical, like you, Arushi. We met up to talk about how, going forward, we could keep the show going kind of once a month. We're going to bring guests in, other mediums, take calls, take emails. And we'd met up somewhere completely, between the two of us. She didn't know me at all. She knew nothing about me, and I don't put personal stuff on any social media, nothing about family. It's all to do with the show or the music school. So she couldn't have got any of the information. And all of a sudden, she just looked straight past me and said that there was somebody coming through from the other side. And I wrote down what she told me, and I went away. And do you know what? I just couldn't believe it. The things that she said, nobody could have known.
Yeah. Once you start to get in touch with the spirit world, it is just incredible. And, I was not one of these people who saw spirits as a child. It came all very late to me, and I feel so grateful that it's happening, and I feel very privileged and very protective of the spirits that do come through, because it must be really hard for them to come through. So I do feel very protective, but really... Really grateful. Yeah.
Really interesting stuff. Okay, so we'll come back for another reading. We've got some more people waiting. First of all, as promised, here's some ELO and Confusion.
All around the world, it's It comes as no big surprise. You've lost your love and you just can't carry on. Can't carry on. You feel there's no one there for you to lean on. To lean on.
Solihull Radio.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lined in chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta low. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Been spending most of their lives living in the gangster's paradise. We've been spending most of their lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the state, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Got my tin in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm a loped out gangster, set tripping banker, and my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger. Fool, death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life, do or die. What can I say? I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24? The way things is going, I don't know. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Power and the money, money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour, everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking what's going on in the kitchen. But I don't know what's cooking. They say I got to learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand it, how can they reach me? I guess they can't, I guess they won't, I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck, fool. We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me?
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
Coolio there and Gangsters Paradise. You're listening to Solihull Radio. We are with you until 6. And with myself and Arushi here in the studio, we have Susie. Susie's it's all fascinating stuff. We've got another reading coming up. Is this a friend of yours, Arushi?
Yeah.
Francesca.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got a photograph of both hands, have we? There?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the right hand, which I'm going to work from, actually. Hi, Francesca. Hope you're having a lovely day. Right, from your hand, I can see that you've had quite a tricky childhood, actually. I can see that there's a part of you that is still quite anxious, but you're very, very generous and very, very kind and probably a bit of a rescuer. So be a little bit careful with that, okay? You know, it's important that you take care of yourself, and, other people are responsible for themselves as well. Also, what I can see is that you're a really strong worker and really have strong ideas on fairness and justice, and you're really good in the workplace and sort of really keep going. I can see that. Darling, I can also see that your self-esteem sometimes can be a little bit shaky, and what might help that is I think you just need lots of love, and you need lots of TLC, and it's about asking for that when you need that, really, and getting that from people. We just are made the way that we're made, so you're kind, loving, and you need that kindness and love coming towards you as well, okay? So, as I say, take care of yourself. And the other thing I can see on your hand, actually, is you've got a large Venus area. You're really, really feminine and probably really love parties, love entertaining, that kind of thing. But yeah, just take care of yourself, yeah.
Sorry. Susie, we've got the screen on in the background because we're trying to find out what's going on with all of the sports, and all I can see in front of me is a dancing parrot, cockatoo.
Yeah,
cockatoo, I don't know what's going on there. Gosh, well, Emily, who's obviously listening to us in America, she's sent another 3 photographs of her palm. She's very keen, is Emily. So we'll have a look, Emily. Thank you for that. She said she's done the best that she can. Okay. Have we got any more people lined up to come to in a minute, Arushi? We'll do that in just a sec, and then you've got some what's-ons for us. Let's have a ballad this afternoon. We've had quite a lot of up-tempo stuff, haven't we, today? This is gorgeous. This is Beautiful by, of course, Christina Aguilera. Don't look at me.
Every day is so wonderful, and suddenly it's hard to breathe. Now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed. I am beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down. to bring me down today.
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
Solihull Radio.
You're listening to Solihull Radio, and I'm here with Susie, tarot reader and palmist, and Arushi Sharma, and we've got a lot going on. We've got a lot of fantastic guests over the next few weeks. I'm going to be announcing in just a little while, and you've got some what's-ons coming up. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. We're trying to find out what's going on with all the sporting events. If you've got any news, just let us know. Drop us an email, studio@solihullradio.com. We've got some more readings to get through. So who is next, Arushi?
The next person is Mia.
Mia.
She's sent through her right and left hands that Susie has now.
Yeah, okay, that's great. Thank you. So, hi, Mia. Right, I can see by looking at your right hand straight away that you've got leadership qualities, and also that you'd be very good in business. You've got a really strong hand for business. You've got a ring on your middle finger, and the middle finger is very much about being conscientious and strong, and about fairness and justice and doing the right thing, and being a very strong worker in the workplace. And also you've got a very strong the beginnings of a very strong fire line, which means that you know where you're going, even from a really young age. You've got a really good sense of where you're going. Again, you've got a water hand, so I sense that you're quite sensitive as well. So it's like you've got a lot of strength, a lot of duty, a lot of justice, and a lot of good business sense in your hand. But you're also sensitive. So maybe sort of working with people in a business environment would be like social care or nursing or something like that would be a really good thing for you. Yeah, so I hope that's helpful. Okay.
There we go. Have we got any more lined up, Arushi?
Yes, we do actually.
And about you? Are you going to have a reading as well in a little while?
I can
go for it?
If you, yeah.
Shall we do that?
Yeah,
Shall
sure.
we do that? Okay. Let's put another piece of music on. As everybody knows that listens to this show, this is probably my top favourite artist. I just love watching his band because they're just so talented. The way they move, the way they play. This is, of course, Locked Out of Heaven and Bruno Mars.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Never
Perry on Solihull Radio.
What we're living in, let me tell ya. And it's a world that man can eat at all. When things are big that should be small. Who can tell what magic spells we'll be doing for us? And I'm giving all my love to this world, only to be told I can't see, I can't
That was Jamiroquai and Virtual Insanity, and you are with me, Leigh Perry, until 6. This is Solihull Radio. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. With me is Arushi Sharma and Susie, who's been doing some readings, palmistry and tarot readings this afternoon. Arushi, what's on? What's happening in Solihull and the surrounding areas? Because of course everyone breaks up from school.
Yeah.
This coming Friday.
This week.
Yeah.
So this week, 17th of July, the Core Theatre in Touchwood is putting on a show of Romeo and Juliet outside, hopefully if the weather permits.
Oh, is it outside?
In Bruton Park, yeah.
Ah.
So, I mean, anyone who wants to get involved or go watch it or go watch other plays that are on during the summer, they should definitely check out the Core website, the Core Theatre website.
Let's hope there's some good weather then.
Let's hope, yeah.
Okay.
Also, this past few weeks, I think, Toy Story 4 and Spider-Man Far From Home have come out.
Yeah.
And they're currently showing in the Cineworld Cinema in Touchwood.
Yes.
And honestly, they've had really good reviews.
Do you know I've never seen Toy Story?
It's a very children's film, though. It's not like when you're an adult, you can watch it and relate to it. I think you have to grow up with it.
Do you?
But still,
what are you trying to say?
No, but that's why people coming back to watch Toy Story 4 have given it like 98% on Rotten Tomatoes and things like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I still love Disney films and everything,
Yeah.
Lion King and whatever, but I've never...
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Is Beyonce's in that, isn't she?
I think she's playing Nala.
Golly.
So that'll be really interesting.
It's one of the few musicals. Well, I've been to see that about 5-6 times. I always cry when it starts and you've got the animals coming down from the back of the theatre and the music, because it's Elton John, isn't it? Okay, that's a cinema. What else do we have?
Then from the 17th to the 19th of July, there's the Solihull Sort of Jazz Festival, which you can find out more about on the Solihull Bid website. And from the 27th to 28th of July, there's the Solihull Summer Festival, which are selling tickets at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're expecting good food, good music, and a weekend of just fun, I think people should get on that, because that'll be a whole load of fun to kickstart the summer.
I've not seen that. I've not been to the Solihull Music Fest, actually. When I did the radio show last year, I could hear it from the studio. But I would like to try and get there because I love Level 42 and I believe they're on, aren't they? So that'd be really good. Okay, so moving on, you're about to have your palm read. Arushi, how are you feeling?
Feeling really nervous, especially after last week.
Yes, yeah, you did look a bit scared, I must say.
Don't be scared.
No, I'm okay.
Okay, Susie, what have we got?
News. Yeah. So, Arushi, you've got really graceful hands. You know, like you've got like a pianist's hands. You know, you've got they're really graceful, really beautiful hands. You know, again, water, very sensitive, but a lot of refinement in your hands. And also the way you're holding your hands again, you know, you're very independent. You've got leadership qualities there again. We've had quite a lot of that today with people. You've got a really strong thumb. Now, certain cultures only read the thumb because they say that will tell them whether somebody's going to be a success. And from your thumb, you're going to be a success. Okay. Yeah, I can see that because you're very well grounded. There's a little break in your vitality line. So I think maybe when you were younger, there was a bit of a bump in the road or something. You know, I can see that. But also what fascinates me with your hands is that sometimes when I look at hands, I can see that people are very tied in to the way their parents did things and that they find it really hard to break away from that. And you are not like that. You're very free-spirited and you're a very independent thinker, I would say. Would that be fair to say?
I mean, I don't know, but I'm taking it as it comes. So, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you are a very independent thinker, and I can see also that for a while, probably until you're about, I would say 25, you're probably going to sort of go along a path that's a bit set down a little bit, and then you're just going to do your own thing. Okay, you're just going to sort of say, I'm not doing it, and you're just going to completely do what you want. Okay. So you're a bit of a flower child. Yeah, very much, but a very well-rooted flower child, you know, and very emotionally well balanced. Yeah. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, Susie, you didn't know this, well, unless Arushi's told you in the other room, but Arushi's one of my pupils, so she's a keyboard player.
Okay.
Yeah, very good keyboard player.
Oh, thank you.
Strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Strange. Oh, fantastic. Okay. We have had a request from Tracy for Club Tropicana. I'm trying to make that happen, Tracy. Hope you're having a good weekend. Thank you for the request. Going to have some Ariana Grande right now. Coming up in the next half an hour, I've also got some Dead or Alive, some Diana Ross and the Supremes, and Clean Bandit. But let's just play this for you. This is Seven Rings.
Breakfast at Tiffany's and bottles of bubbles. Girls with tattoos who like getting in trouble. Lashes and diamonds, ATM machines. Buy myself all of my favorite things. Been through some bad, I should be a savage. Who would've thought it turned me to a savage? Rather be tied up with calls and my strings. Write my own checks like I write what I sing. My wrist, stop watching. My neck is fuzzy. Make big deposits. My gloss is popping. You like my hair? Gee, thanks. Just bought it. I see it. I like it. I want it. I got it. Yeah. I want it. I got it. 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 Yeah. You like my hair? Gee, thanks. Just bought it. I see it. I like it. I want it. I got it. Yeah. Wearing a ring, but ain't gon' be no misses. But matching diamonds for 6 of my. I'd rather spoil all my friends with my riches. Think we tell therapy my new addiction. Whoever said money can solve your problems must not have had enough money to solve them. They say which one, I say nah, I want all them. Happiness is the same price as red bottoms. My smile is beaming, my skin is gleaming. The way it shine, I know you seen it. I bought a crib just for the closet, both his and hers. I want it, I got it. 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 You like my hair? Gee, thanks. Just bought it. I see it, I like it. I want it, I got it. My receipts be looking like phone numbers. If it ain't money, then wrong number. Black card is my business card. The way it be setting the tone for me. I don't need a brag, but I be like, put it in the bag, yeah. When you see the max, they stack up like my, yeah. Go from the south to the booth, make it all back in one loop. Give me the loot, never mind, I got the juice. Nothing but never we shoot. Look at my neck, look at my neck. Ain't got enough money to pay me respect. Ain't no budget when I'm on the set. If I like it, then that's what I get, yeah. I want it, I got it. 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 You like my hair? Gee, thanks. Just bought it. I see it, I like it. I want it, I got it. Yeah.
Solihull Radio.
Ariana Grande and Seven Rings there. Just had an email from Andy. Andy, thank you for the email. Glad to see you listening to us this afternoon. Andy's from the Solihull Summerfest. There are tickets for sale right now, and the shop is open till 8 o'clock tonight. If you would like tickets, then do get in touch. It's going to be a brilliant festival, and Level 42 are playing as well. Andy also says, Susie, he's loving the palm reading. So if you'd like a palm reading, Andy, if you're brave enough, send us a pic right now. You can text it to 82228. Start your message with the word studio, or email us studio@solihullradio.com. Okay, we've got a couple more readings coming up, but I've got quite a bit of music to get through as well this afternoon. We've got some Motown right now. And speaking of Motown, a great friend of mine from the multi-award-winning Soul Kind of Wonderful, Richie Sampson. We've got a really exciting project coming up very, very soon. You need to keep listening to this show. If you are a fantastic singer, if you like the Motown era, if you've got the whole package, then keep listening into the show because it is really exciting. Right, let's have a bit of Diana Ross and the Supremes, and this is Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
no matter how far. Just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. On that you can depend and never worry. No wind, no wind, no rain, no rain. Oh, winter's cold can't stop me, babe. Oh, babe, baby, baby, if you're my gold. Oh, no wind, no wind, no rain, no rain. Can't stop me, babe, if you're my I know you must follow the sun wherever it leads. But remember, if you should fall short of your desires, remember life holds for you one guarantee: you'll always have me. And if you should miss my love one of these old days, if you should ever miss the arms that used to hold you so close, or the lips that used to touch yours so tenderly, just remember what I told you the day I set you free. There's no mountain high enough, there's no valley low enough, there's no river wide enough to keep me from you. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from you. Ain't no mountain high enough, nothing can keep me from you. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough, ain't no
Diana Ross and the Supremes, a little bit of Motown for you this afternoon. The sun's disappeared, but we've still got the feel-good factor here. I've got some Hosier coming up in just a minute. With me is the amazing Susie Ramiro Pitt. So talented. I'm going to start training, definitely, Susie. I fancy getting into this. It fascinates me. And Jeff is going on a ghost hunt very soon, which I'd like to also get into. What's your feelings on that?
Oh gosh, well, I don't know. This is, I don't think that's quite my thing, really.
No. Okay.
You know, I don't like to hunt anything.
Yeah, I've got you on that one. Got you on that one.
You know, and I don't think I understand enough about it, really. I think that's why I probably feel like that.
Yeah.
But interestingly, on the 31st of October, I've got to go to a place called, I think it's Hindley Hall, and it's in Dudley.
Hindley Hall. Yeah, Hindley. That's near to me. I live in Hales Owen. Okay.
They've got a fantastic evening where they're going to do a Victorian séance. It's a lady called Jane Harris that's actually putting it on, and she's asked me to be the palm reader. So in the halfway mark, the interval, people can have tarot or palm read. So I've got to dress up as a Victorian palm reader. So that's really exciting.
So when's this?
31st of October.
31st of
Halloween.
October.
Yeah,
of course, Halloween.
Yeah,
the night before my birthday. My husband always says it was just. He always says, "Isn't it strange that you just missed Halloween by?" Yeah, very rude. Very rude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that, actually.
That'd be really good. You know who we had on the phone, who I interviewed actually about a year ago through Beth.
Yeah.
One of our psychic shows was Derek Akora.
Oh wow,
that was interesting stuff.
Yes, I bet it was. Yeah.
I had a lot of interest in that when we said that he was coming on the show.
Yeah,
I'd like to get him on again, actually.
Yeah, I bet that would be amazing.
And he does ghost hunts.
Yes,
which I wouldn't mind booking on.
Yes,
getting all excited.
Yeah,
now. All excited. What's your taste in music?
Oh gosh, I like everything.
Yeah.
I like jazz. I like old jazz. I got married last year, and we had some sort of jazz at the wedding. You know,
Oh,
and
lovely.
yeah, I just really love it. But
Lovely.
I like all kinds of music, classical.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
kinds.
me too.
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
too. With you there.
Yeah.
I've got some Dire Straits here, and this is a Private Investigations. We'll be back in a few minutes with Susie with a bit more information about palmistry.
It's a mystery to me. The game commences for the usual fee, plus expenses, confidential information. It's in a diary. This is my investigation. It's not a public inquiry. I go checking out the reports, digging up the dirt. You get to meet all sorts in this line of work. Treachery and treason, there's always an excuse for it. And when I find the reason, I still can't get used to it. And what have you got? At the end of the day, what do you got? The takeaway. A bottle of whiskey with a new set of lies. Blinds on the window and a pain behind the eyes. Scarred for life. No compensation. Private investigations.
was Dire Straits and Private Investigations, and that's a whole new other topic, isn't it? Which got me thinking, actually, I would love to meet an investigator. If you're a PI and you're listening to this and you'd like to come in and have a chat on the show, that would be really good. Do get in touch. Email me, studio@solihullradio.com. But right now, I'm joined by Susie Ramiro-Pitt, who's been doing some palmistry and telling us all about how it all works. And Andy from the Summerfest downstairs has just taken the plunge. He sent a photograph of his palm, and you've been studying that while that track's been on, haven't you, Susie? What do you make of it?
Oh, thanks for being so brave, Andy, and sending your pictures in, and that goes for everybody. Okay, so what I can see is that your thinking is very clear and rational, very independent thinking, very assertive. I can see that, very confident. What I can also see is that you've got a really strong care inside, and sometimes I think maybe that goes a little bit too far, and you can be a little bit martyrish. You know, you can sort of give in and take care of people when you should maybe be taking care of yourself a little bit. But at the same time, also, your heart line shows me that you're very sexy and very sexually motivated, but you hold back in relationships, okay? So I can see also that you might kind of like the chase, and then, you know, you kind of hold back a little bit.
I forgot to say that tagged onto this message was, please be gentle with me.
Oh, I didn't see that bit, sorry.
I know, sorry, bit late, carry on.
But and you know, I can see also that you do like to have space in relationships, but you're really kind and you're really well balanced. You're a very well rooted soul, and all of your lines show me that, and the length of your fingers show me that you're really well balanced. So yes, I hope that helps. Yeah.
There you go, Andy. Thank you. I hope that was good. I hope that was right. Do let us know.
Yeah.
We've got a couple more readings coming up. Now, Arushi, I did promise you today, because I know I've done it for the last 2 weeks, but I just couldn't say no to Shawadi Wadi. So this is another one of their tracks just for you, Arushi. This is Remember Then.
Remember then, remember then, that night we fell in love, beneath the stars above. That was a lovely summer night. Remember then, remember.
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
Solihull Radio.
Shawaddy. Oh, I used to love them. I still do love them. So here you go, Andy. Can you find out what happened to Shawaddy? And are they still going? And if so, can they please do the Solihull Summerfest? And can I interview them? Okay, back to Susie. We've got another reading awaiting. A friend of yours, I think, Arushi. Yeah. Is it Jessica?
Hi,
okay.
Jessica. Hi. Okay, right. Looking at your hands, I can see that you're very responsible and quite hard on yourself, I would say, sometimes, and you work very hard and are probably quite perfectionist. You're really, really sensitive as well. And I think sometimes you may struggle to sort of ground yourself a little bit and find that you sometimes feel a little bit anxious. So I think it's important that you address those things and sort of make sure you eat properly and that you have sort of like quite a settled routine. You're extremely sensitive. So don't go overboard on doing too much work or doing too much that sort of makes you stressed. But you've got a fantastic line of thinking and emotion. You're quite a chilled person, I would say, when it comes to your emotions. Even though you're anxious, you're not over the top. I would say your anxiety is quite a private thing. But yeah, very graceful, very refined. Just take care of yourself and make sure that you don't try and get everything right, because, it's good to make mistakes. Okay, that's how we learn. All right. Yeah.
There you go, Jessica. Do drop us an email. Tell us how that was for you. studio@solihullradio.com. Here's a bit of Stevie. Stevie Wonder and Superstition. Okay, we've got just a quarter of an hour left of today's show. It's been a really good show. And with me is Susie. Susie, with palmistry, I know you can see into the future. You're talking about your right hand and your left hand is things that have happened in your past. You were saying off air that you can look very much into the workplace and romance for people just by looking at the palms.
You can, actually you can. What we're looking for is to sort of help people find somebody they're compatible with.
Okay.
And so we look at the heart line, and that's really easy. I mean, if you Google palmistry, you'll be able to see really easily which the heart line is. And what we're looking for as palmists is to help people understand that if you find somebody with a heart line very similar to yours, then you'll be very compatible, because some people are enthusiastic and emotional and, like flowers and chocolates and to go out and have fun, and they're straight in there with a relationship. And other people are reserved and thoughtful and quite cool, and that shows in the lines. So if you meet somebody and you feel that they're not interested in you, if they had a line that was different from yours, it would just help you to understand that they're a different person from you and that they're going to deal with things in a different way. And it doesn't mean that they're not interested.
Okay.
So I just help my clients to learn a little bit so that they can find people that they're compatible with. Yeah.
What's your view on astrology?
Oh, no. I haven't learnt astrology yet. I recently went to the London School of Palmistry and Astrology because I've got quite a close connection with Frank Clifford, the palmist and the astrologer from that school. And I had my astrology chart done by one of the students there. And it was really, really interesting. It's absolutely fantastically, right. I'm not a particularly sociable person. I tend to sort of like to spend a lot of time by myself, and that was all in my chart.
Was it?
Yeah, and I've really struggled with that.
So what sign are you?
I'm Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it sort of came across in my chart that there are certain different houses that you have planets in, and it was very me when it came across. So I think all of these things, whether it's palmistry, astrology, tarot, they are tools for self-understanding. And I think one of the greatest causes of suffering is not knowing who you are or what you're supposed to be doing. And once all of these, they're tools, they're like windows onto the human soul. And they all help us to, just know who we are and what's best for us and how to move forward, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you got a website, Susie, that people can, or a Facebook page they can look you up and see what you do?
Yeah. My website is www.susieromero.co.uk, and my Facebook page, my business page, is Tarot and Palm Readings Worcestershire.
Wonderful.
So you can message me, for on either of those. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll come back on the show again, maybe.
Oh, that would be lovely.
That'd be really good, because it's exciting stuff. Let's get a bit more music in because we're running out of time. We'll be back with you in a minute. Susie, this is Clean Bandit.
Now you're out in Cabo, hanging with your brother, wishing that I was your bridal, so I could be close to your lips again. I know you didn't call your parents and tell them that we ended, cause you know that they'd be offended. Did you not want to tell them it's the end? And I know we're not supposed to talk, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I get scared when we're not, cause I'm scared you're with somebody else. So I guess that it's gone, and I just keep lying to myself. I can't believe it. I miss you, yeah, I miss you. I miss you, yeah, I miss you. Oh, I do. I miss you, yeah, I miss you. Though I'm trying not to right now. You would have had pictures, so I hardly ever took them. Got them saved in my mind from the bedroom, so that
somebody else, so I guess that it's gone. And I just keep lying to myself. I can't believe it. I miss you, yeah, I miss you. I miss you, yeah, I miss you. Oh, I do. I miss you, yeah, I miss you. Though I'm trying not to right now. So I saved all the texts, all of the best over the years, just to remind myself of how good it is. Yeah, I saved all the texts, all from my ex, minus the tears, just to remind myself of how good it is. Oh, it was, 'cause I miss you, yeah, I miss you. I miss you, yeah, I miss you. Oh, I do. I miss you, yeah, I miss you. Oh, I'm trying not to right now. I can't help it, I just.
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
Clean Bandit and I Miss You. So, Susie, we've got a bit of feedback here. This is from Andy, who obviously enjoyed that reading. First off, obviously, spot on about being very sexy. Oh, actually, I think I gave you the wrong picture.
Yeah.
No, not really. I think Susie was pretty accurate with the whole read. Very impressive. Thanks for taking the time to look at my mitts. That's brilliant. Okay. Susie, if somebody wanted themselves to learn palmistry, where do they go? What do they do?
Well, I think the best way to start is I learnt from the Norfolk palmist Johnny Fincham. I just got his books and started reading his books, and they're on Amazon. And there's one called Johnny Fincham. It's called Palmistry. And the next one is called The Spellbinding Power of Palmistry. They're really good books and they really get you started. And so that, and also Frank Clifford, as mentioned, at the London School of Palmistry and Astrology, his book is called Palmistry for Today, the number 4, Palmistry for Today, and that's also on Amazon. So, and then you just go from there, and there are lots of books out there, and you just flow from there, really.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. And people can come to you as well for private readings.
Yes, absolutely.
And what was your Facebook again? Facebook page?
My Facebook page is Tarot and Palm Readings Worcestershire. And my website is www.suzy, SUZYROMERO, Susie Romero, .co.uk. I nearly forgot that.
Fantastic. I'm definitely going to come for a reading. It's all really exciting. Talking about social media, you can, of course, follow us here at Solihull Radio. On Twitter, it's at Solihull_radio. Facebook, just type in Solihull Radio, and Instagram at Solihull Radio. So do follow us. I've got some really great guests coming up over the summer and into the autumn, in fact. The next few weeks, I'm going to be having Richie Sampson, the multi-award-winning band Soul Kind of Wonderful, are going to be coming in for a chat and to play their latest music, which of course Richie writes as well as doing covers. We've got a local band called The Claws. They're going to be coming in very, very soon. They are really hitting the big time right now, and Niall Fennell, one of the band members, of course, has come right the way through Dorwich Music School, my music school in Knowles. So of course when he was young he started on drums there and taught guitar for us, so it's really great to see how successful they are. I know they did a signing this week at HMV over at Merry Hill. Of course, we'll be back very soon with Elizabeth Lee Crowther, Psychic Beth, for our monthly show, which is always fun. Beth is very cheeky, isn't she, Susie?
Yeah, she's great fun and very kind, yeah.
She's wonderful. And, we did the show last week, Arushi, and gosh, we had them lined up, didn't we? I think we had to turn down a couple of readings.
I think so as well, yeah.
So if you tried to get through to us last week and we didn't have time to get to you, apologise for that, and do keep a lookout for the next show and get in there first. us with your photographs. What are you up to this week, Arushi? Anything exciting?
This week, I'm just rounding off school now, so
Of course.
just excited for the summer to begin.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah.
You have about 6 weeks, 8 weeks off.
6 weeks, yeah.
Oh, it's all right for some. Susie, there's me, working all the way through the summer. What are you up to? Anything exciting?
I've got a lady coming for a reading tomorrow morning, and then I've got a psychic supper. I do psychic suppers as well in Malvern where I live, so there's one of those coming up.
What's a psychic supper?
Oh, well, it's just, we do psychic pamper evenings and suppers where people just come along, and it's free entry, and they just choose the reader that they want to have a reading with, and we just take it from there. So it's really fun.
We must swap phone numbers at the end of the show because we're out of time. Keep in touch. Come in again.
Thank you so much.
We could do a Christmas special, couldn't we?
Thank you for the people that have let me see their hands. That's very brave. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, for taking part today. And I'm sure Susie will be back. It's been great meeting you, Susie. Thank you so much. Thank you, Arushi. Enjoy the rest of your week, everybody, on this amazing, very, very much sporting day today. Do listen to us for the rest of the week. I'm going to close with some Hosier this afternoon, and this is Take Me to Church. I'll be back next Sunday at 4:00. Have a good week.
My lover's got humor. She's the giggle at a funeral. Knows everybody's disapproval. I should've worshipped her sooner. If the heavens ever did speak, she's the last true mouthpiece. Every Sunday's getting more bleak, a fresh poison each week. We were born sick, you heard them say it. My church offers no absolutes. She tells me worship in the bedroom. The only heaven I'll be sent to is when I'm alone with you. I was born sick, but I love it. Command me to be well. Amen.